All right, I think we are back on again, and hopefully he's able to join us. This Facebook thing is getting a little bit annoying, but it will all work itself out. Thank you so much, Facebook, for helping me with patience. So, I invited him on. There he is. All right. Let's jumped on. Hey, Leslie, how are you? He's waving at me. Okay, it says I'm adding you, so you should be getting an ad, Rob. It says adding. I don't know why you aren't being added. Just wait a minute. Hey, Logan. Yeah, I don't know. It's still just saying adding, adding. Huh. There's got to be a challenge on his end. I don't know what would be the problem. I don't know. Do you experience this, Logan, where it says you're adding somebody, but then suddenly it's, or not suddenly, it's not even no answer from live video guest. There's something, oops. Let's see if it works this way. Bring them on camera.
I'm
Oh, there
here.
we go. Finally, we
Yeah.
got it.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Facebook, for helping me with patience. Uh, is his screen upright or sideways? No. Oh, so you know what? Maybe that's what it was. Is your screen upright?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure. Hey, Sarah, thanks for watching. So now that we're finally on, hopefully we'll get things worked out over time. But I've been wanting to get you on to talk about a couple different things for a while. The amazing sleep you've been having and the gel that everybody's been buzzing about. I know a lot of the people that I know are always like, what is she talking about, this gel? What is this crazy gel? So a little bit about it is I found out about it, oh, let's see, beginning of, or maybe it was like the middle of February. And you're like my go-to person that I take things to because we've done business before and I value your opinion and your expertise, especially in the medical world and or in the wellness space. And so I initially sent this to you, and I initially wasn't interested in this in terms of a product. I love to market products and technologies that change people's lives. And initially, I wasn't interested before I looked at it because I didn't want to sell another consumable product. But when I actually took time to look at this 3-minute video, I was blown away because it was something I didn't know much about, but I'd heard people buzzing about it before, about HGH. And I started researching it, and then I took it to you, and since then, it's kind of been a whirlwind of just changing my life in a financial way, in a whole body physical wellness way, and just having an impact on so many lives, which is what I've really enjoyed the most. And I would love to hear how it's impacted your life.
Well, the first thing I want to tell you is when you brought this to me, I thought you were absolutely out of your mind. Uh, I I could not. I resisted watching the video for like 3 weeks, and out of just love and just total respect for you and everything that you're about and everything that you take a look at, I finally took a look at it. And after watching the video, I was still extremely skeptical on two levels. I was skeptical because it was homeopathic, and I was skeptical because it was a microdose. Human growth hormone injections have been around for a long time. I mean, at least 30, 35, 40 years, people have been getting injections. And so I was aware of it, and I was aware of the benefits of human growth hormone, but I was also aware of the potential side effects. Not that they're all that serious. They're more bothersome than anything else. But the Hollywood set has been using HGH injections for years to stay young and retain their youth, regain their youth, and that sort of thing. So me being the supplement king of the whole planet, Had to take a more serious look at an in-depth look, and I did, and I was intrigued. And then you shared some information with me from some of your associates in the business. I got on the phone, I got to talk with them, and asked my questions. And I said, we talked with Troy Landwehr, and I said, Troy, this is all interesting, very, very intriguing, but how can it ever begin to be as effective as injections? And he said, well, that's a great question. And the fact of the matter is, rather than receiving a huge, big injection, once a month that declines over 30 days, you're applying this basically every 12 hours, first thing in the morning, last thing in the evening before going to bed. So we're giving the body a very small but very homeopathically potent exposure to real human growth hormone. And the body knows what to do with it. In fact, the body does whatever it needs to do with it. So I said to you guys, you remember me saying this, okay, I'm in, but if this doesn't work, I'm out, and it'll be that fast. It'll be a big U-turn. So I started using the product, and the very first week I noticed getting out of bed without stiffness, just feeling like my body was moving better. Just having the feeling like I wanted to move my body. I didn't want to sit anymore. I wanted to be engaged and upright and walking and that sort of thing. I noticed at work at the at my station, I'm an anesthesiologist, and I have a chair, and I had been spending 90% of my time sitting and about 10% of my time standing. And a couple of weeks in, that flipped. I now find myself preferring to stand rather than sit. So I spend about 90% of my day standing. And that's new for me. It's just a preference. It's just something I want to do. And there's been a lot of research lately on the benefits of standing as opposed to sitting. Then I noticed just a vast improvement in my sleep. And again, this was maybe week 2 or week 3. Excuse me, I'm getting over a cold. But I started tracking my sleep. I have a watch, a Nokia watch, that actually records my my sleep cycle. So I know exactly how much REM sleep, how much deep sleep I'm getting. And the improvement in the overall quality of my sleep has just been dramatic. And I know that from the fact that I'm dreaming again. I had gone through a period of years, where I didn't really remember dreams or had dreams or was even aware that I'm dreaming. And now, night after night after night after night, it's at least 6, 8, 10 dreams. Now, I don't remember all the details of them, but I remember a lot of the details of them. Last night, I was in a plane that my neighbor, who I had dinner with last evening, who's a cardiologist, and he was flying the plane. And it was like a crazy dream, but Tom was the pilot, Now, I remember that dream. It's very vivid, and I remember it, 12 hours after having had the dream, which never used to happen before. So they're vivid. And just the fact alone that has changed for me, that the sleep pattern that I'm cycling, I can see on my phone in the morning how much deep sleep I've had, how much REM sleep I've had, and how perfect it is in the way it cycles. Sleep is so important, and I think that the benefit of good sleep just affects everything. Everything else is just better. Now, when you want to talk about everything else with this product, mental sharpness and focus for me is just off the charts. I feel like I'm 30 again. In the operating room, mental focus and mental acuity, mental sharpness is very important to what I do. And having it back, not that I was in a circumstance where I was impaired or dangerous or not up to the task, but having it back the way it used to be for me 30 years ago is just incredible. You oftentimes hear people say, golly, I'd love to be 25 or 30 again, knowing what I know now. Well, this is how I feel as a result of this product. I feel like I'm 25 or 30, but I know what I know. Um, the benefits of the product are just, I mean, whatever you see in the printed materials about the product, the 6 month outline of what to expect. I've been on the product now, let's see, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. I've been on it 8 months. And my benefits have absolutely tracked that 6 month um, uh, prospectus, or whatever you want to call it, going forward, uh, month to month to month to month to month,
Nice.
and it doesn't end at 6 months. It just continues to get better. And you know, I take a lot of other supplements, but I've never had a supplement that has impacted me the way this one has. And I would throw all of them out if I could only keep this. This would be the one that I would always want to have and use. And the rest of them, I mean, I take the rest of them as well, but I'm using a lot less in the way of supplements than I used to, because I'm getting so many benefits from this one product that I was relying on other products for. And those other products didn't even give me the benefit I was really thinking I should be getting, but I took it anyway because it said on the label, you know, this is going to help you in this way. So I'm paring things down. And, you know, I just, if you had told me in February when you approached me that this product would change my life the way it has, I couldn't have imagined it. I couldn't have even begun to imagine how this homeopathic microdose product could ever do the things. I mean, I'm looking younger. I'm 68 years old. I, I'm looking younger. I'm looking at people, and people comment now. The last several months, I've been getting, "Gosh, you look great. You look great. You look great. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? You look great. You look great. What are you doing?" And it's just an amazing rejuvenation product, and I look forward to, um, you know, being 90 and 100 and 110, and still being able to do the things that I like to do.
Yeah.
So I'm out of wind, but ask me questions.
No, I love it. Well, that's what really struck me. What really interested me and intrigued me about the product is that it had a blanket of benefits. Because I have taken a lot of supplements, I have sold a lot of different types of things before, but usually you need this product for this and this product for that and that and that and that. And then you have this long list of products that you have to take. And the truth of it is, most people are not going to take the time or the money to get all of those different things that they need to give them all these different benefits. And when I saw this gel as something that you literally rub on the thin parts of your skin where your veins are to go straight, absorb straight into your bloodstream, you're not having to swallow a pill. A lot of people don't like swallowing pills. You're not having to smell anything or taste anything. It's just super simple and non-invasive, and it just gives you this overall sense of well-being that just goes to every part of your body.
That's what I meant to add. I mean, it just a sense of well-being. This feeling that you can kind of like nothing rattles you. Nothing. There's nothing you can't accomplish. There's no task that's too big. In the operating room, I have very complex patients at times, very sick, very challenging cases, and you know, in the past, it's just like, oh, okay, you know, you just feel like, you know, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders, and I don't know what it is about this product, but it definitely changes your mental attitude into one of, hey, I got this, I can do this. It's a positivity, and I think as you age, you lose that positivity, and this product, in the way that it turns the clock back, gives you back that positivity. Not to mention all the other, you know, physiologic benefits. I went to see my doctor a couple weeks ago, and I learned that I had high blood pressure about 15 years ago, and so he put me on a med and then another med, and we've been tinkering with medications, you know, over the, well, when I was first diagnosed, we tinkered, and then we got me on a regimen that I've been on for the last, 12, 13, 14 years. And I've never, changed it. I just followed his instructions and took the medication. And every time I'd go to see him in his office, he'd say, well, your blood pressure here is like 130/80. I'd love for it to be, it's way better than it was when I was diagnosed. When I was diagnosed, my blood pressure was like 200/110. So we're back in a good place. He said, I'd like to see it lower, but I really don't want to add another medication. And he said, I can live with 130/80. I'd like it to be 120/70, but some people that's the best we can do. Well, I went to see him 2 weeks ago. He took my blood pressure and he smiled and he said, it's 110/70. And I said, you're kidding me. And he goes, yeah, it's 110/70. And I didn't bother mentioning anything. I actually didn't say anything to him at all about the gel. I might at some point, but that's the only thing that's different for me since my last visit was that I've been using this product. So I mean, I'm happy with that, and we might be able to talk in the future about reducing some medication doses. I wouldn't certainly do that on my own. I'd do that with his recommendation, his knowledge, but I'm just keeping going with the gel.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's another thing that struck me as a marketer and also on a consumer end of it. I'm not really a huge fan of the FDA, but this is an FDA regulated product. It is registered with the FDA. It has a national drug code. So that was another reason why I thought you might go, oh, wow, what is this? I could really take a serious look at it. So I've been able to take this to people like you, nurses, pharmacists, people who would normally not look at a regular supplement.
Well, that got my attention. I mean, when I saw FDA registered NDC drug code, that got my attention right off the bat. And it's the only product of its kind with an NDC number registered with the FDA. There's no other product. You can go to the FDA website, and this is it. This is the only product of its kind. And I think it's reassuring because the story of the product goes back 13, 14 years. It was being sold in a health food store by the company owner, the formulator, Alex Goldstein, who developed it. I know Alex very well. And 6 years in, it was selling very, very well. 97% of the people that started the product stayed on the product. And the FDA actually came in and said, you are not in compliance and you can't sell this. So Alex, not being one to take no for an answer, said, well, what do I need to do to gain compliance? And they gave him a whole laundry list of measures that he had to adopt and prove and satisfy them with in order to get the FDC registration number. And that took another 6 or 7 years. But the fact that he did that, and the fact that all the raw materials are tested for purity and potency, microbial contamination, the product is manufactured in a completely compliant lab. I mean, you can look on the list of ingredients in our 8-page gel booklet, and you see, organic this, and it's just, it is the cleanest, most scrutinized manufacturing process of any product I've ever been aware of.
I love it. So we do have a comment. Dan says he would prefer that we were more casual with our conversation and less infomercial. So
What?
I'm not really sure exactly. I know I've asked him if he has a specific question that we can answer. What is the product specifically? Okay, perfect. So what is the product specifically? So it's a transdermal gel and it's human growth hormone. It's a microdosing homeopathic. So I don't know if you want to expand upon that question of what specifically this product is.
Well, the primary ingredient is human growth hormone, and it is a manufactured human growth hormone. It's
Bioidentical.
It's human growth hormone is a sequence of amino acids that are strung together, and this product is identical to human growth hormone. However, it's not from a human or an animal source. It's from a laboratory source. In addition, there are um, a host of botanicals along with the human growth hormone for adrenal support, for thyroid support. Um, and I'm not the expert on the botanicals, or really even I'm not even an expert on growth hormone. What I am an expert on is what the product's done for me, pure and simple. Um, you probably, Jess, can even expand on the botanicals even more than I can.
I'm not a major homeopathic yet, or homeopath yet, but I'm definitely learning a lot. And for those who are interested, we do have a private Facebook group, two of them actually, one for men and one for women, where you can see thousands of testimonials, just like Dr. Rob's, just like mine. I mean, I'm only 34, and this product has transformed the discomfort that I've felt in my body for probably a decade. I've struggled with a lot of chronic discomfort from old injuries, broken ribs. I don't know what happened to my broadcast. So, anyways, I'm back. So, it's definitely helped me in a lot of ways that I have not had help with other supplements of any kind. So, elevated mood, sleep, like you said, the dreams are so vivid and amazing. It's hard to keep up. And hair, skin, and nails, I'm starting to notice a lot about that. And I actually am only in my third bottle in a row because the product went so viral. We were on a back order for almost 3 months. We've now procured 3 more manufacturers, so that's not happening anymore. But the product was so viral that we couldn't even keep it in our hands, and I was without it. So I actually realized more how much it was doing for me when I didn't have it, when all the pain came back into my body, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow, what, I had no idea what it was actually doing for me. And maybe you can speak to that too. It's that we get so used to the chronic discomfort in our lives or just how we feel that we almost hardly notice how bad it is until it's shifted.
That's true. And the other thing that I've noticed is um, once I started it, and once I started to experience all these benefits and feeling the joints less stiff and feeling the body moving better and feeling the mood being elevated and just the sense of well-being, uh, feeling the mental sharpness, the mental clarity, feeling the sense of humor to respond to jokes. It's like I'm quick now. I mean, quicker than I've ever been. Um, uh, and I've had people that have experienced these benefits, and everybody is kind of different. Some people experience these benefits very quickly. Some people experience them after several months. I would strongly encourage everybody to give it a whole 6-month run. But I've had a couple people who have um, lapsed for whatever reason. They decided that well, they liked it, but they really couldn't tell much of a difference. And then they went off it for a month, and they're calling me back and saying, how do I get it back again? How do I get it? It's like I'm not feeling the way I was feeling. So you're right about you get used to just kind of like this chronic kind of funk that people live with, and then it clears and you start feeling better, and then you run out and you maybe don't reorder or whatever, and you think, oh, I'm going to be okay, and then the funk comes back and you realize the product really was doing what you wanted it to do for you. And to get back to the question about homeopathy, botanicals, formulations, ingredients, we have some wonderful audios. Georgia Balsley is a homeopathic expert. We've got about 18 or 20-minute video. She just like runs rings around me in terms of intelligence and knowledge and everything. And anybody that's interested can have access to that 18 or 20-minute video, and it really goes into great detail about the formulation and the magic of it.
Yeah. And for those who aren't aware of what human growth hormone is, because I know I didn't know anything about it except for the name. And actually, I kind of had like a big red flag go up when I first heard HGH. I thought, is that like what the guys in the gyms do, or, baseball players or stuff that they're not legally allowed to do? So I didn't really know anything about it. So if you're like me and you have red flags going up, I'm happy to send you some more information that expands upon that. But human growth hormone is your most healing hormone. It's your mother hormone. It controls all of your aging processes: hair, skin, nails, sex drive, sleep, joint pain, mobility, balance, vision, cholesterol levels, blood sugar levels, all of these amazing things that keep us looking and feeling young. So that's just a little bit on that. If you'd like to add anything more about, human growth hormone itself and the benefits of it.
Well, children have just enormously high levels of growth hormone because they're growing, and it peaks at about 20, 21, 22, and then it starts to decline. And with the decline into the 30s and 40s and 50s and 60s, we start to see people, yes, there are children that have high blood pressure, there are children that have high cholesterol, but it's extremely rare. Children, as a rule, are immune from chronic illnesses, and I can't say it's because of growth hormone. Again, don't quote me, and don't say that I'm saying that growth hormone cures anything or does anything to cure cholesterol or high blood pressure, that sort of thing. But it's interesting that children are pretty much immune from these sorts of chronic illnesses, and then as growth hormone declines, adults in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s begin to see these chronic things. And I mean, again, I can't say that my growth hormone has rendered me not in need of blood pressure medication, but I find it very interesting that my blood pressure is now much more controlled than it had been. So
Right.
I'll take it.
So another question we're getting is, how can this product, which is used for increasing muscle mass, which is still in question, affect these things? So I think he's,
Um,
questioning the efficacy of human growth hormone. And first of all, I mean, human growth hormone is not there. You can go back. There are so many studies. There's a book, I actually have it called, what is it, Grow Young with HGH, and that was written in the 90s, I believe. But I mean, you can find thousands of book or articles and tons of books on the amazing benefits of HGH, not just for muscle mass.
well, yeah, those studies noted the benefits of decreased abdominal fat, increased muscle mass, increased bone density. That's where that comes from. And our product, being real human growth hormone in homeopathic microdose form, can claim those potential benefits.
Right. And I think the biggest thing too is to realize that this, like you said, this is not like injections. This is a microdosing, and it's a homeopathic. So if you understand how homeopathy works, you're working with the frequency of your body to spark your body how to heal itself, because your body is your greatest doctor. So when you bring it back to homeostasis, it's able to do the work that it's naturally capable of doing on its own.
Yes, I had a lot of trouble getting my head around homeopathy when I first became aware of it, when I first learned about it, because it is so unlike traditional medicine, the way traditional doctors are trained and the way they treat people. But I thought back to when I was in my early teens and had serious allergies. I mean, I was allergic to lots of different things, pollens and grasses and seasonal allergies and that sort of thing. And what the allergist did when I would go see him, he would give me allergy shots that contained very small, tiny amounts of the pollens and grasses that I was allergic to.
Mhm.
So, I kind of, when I thought back to that and I remembered that, and then I learned about homeopathy. Homeopathy is not unlike that, giving you a very, 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 very small micro dilution dose um, to affect change in the body, to push the body.
Right.
So I can't tell you, I can't give you a big long explanation of exactly how this product works in the body physiologically. I just know it works.
I know, same here. Yeah, we're learning more every day, but we don't claim to be experts. And like I mentioned before, there are two private groups that we can add you to, where you can check out thousands of amazing testimonials of people who've been on the product for 8 months, for 2 months, for 3 months. whatever, with all different kinds of stories of different types of benefits. So I don't know that there's any other questions. If there's anything else that you'd like to add.
I'm pretty much out of material, but I hope everyone's enjoyed this, and thank you everybody who's put up with us and our technology and my lack of polish. I'm actually impressed by the guy who thought this was an infomercial, because I thought, oh my God, this is the most this is the most homemade thing in the world.
No, and I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, we're not here to like sell you on something. We're really just here to share our story and a little bit of the info that we know about it, and just to guide you towards other information that may open up a whole nother world that you never knew about. Because, like I said, I didn't know anything about human growth hormone, and now it's like dramatically changed my life. So, thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much, Dr. Rob, for joining me. I'm so happy to connect with you tonight,
My
and looking
pleasure.
forward to having a conversation again really soon.
Yes, and I'm here to get on the phone with any of your folks who would like to, pick my brain a little bit more. If I can answer any more questions in privacy, that's fine too.
Yes, definitely. For anyone interested in asking him about questions, I can definitely connect you. And if anyone has an interest in the business, I've got to tell you, he and I have both done network marketing, direct sales, call it whatever you want, for a while. He has probably done it longer than I have, but I've been doing it since I was 18, and I love the concept, but it's rare to get ahead of a massive trend that's actually changing lives. And I'm pretty sure we're doing that right now.
I know we are. I know we are, and it is just so early. I've never been involved in anything so cutting edge and so breakthrough so early on. Uh, it, it's amazing. I'm hearing a buzzer. I think you need to put another quarter in.
No, I'm getting messages, but yeah, it is amazing, and I'm happy to be on this journey with you. So
All
thank
right.
you all again, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, everybody. Good night.